There is a buzzing sentiment across India right now. Ahead of Ayodhya's Ram temple to open its doors, there is a vocal, visible enthusiasm and excitement in different parts of the country. This may lead you to think that the Hindu Connect seems the only focus of the Indian government right now. But what if I were to tell you, look closely and look around, of developments from the Arab world about India? This image is from 9th January 2024. Prime Minister Narendra Modi walking hand in hand with UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, who is also the ruler of Abu Dhabi. Prime Minister Modi called him his brother, not once but twice. He did not say a friend or an ally, but a brother, clearly showing the close bond that they seem to share. My brother's remarks, Prime Minister Modi said, were extremely encouraging. India cherishes his thoughts and his effort to boost India-UAE ties. This is not the first time, because remember this from July 2023 when the two leaders met, reflecting a turn in political associations and the messaging to the world. Prime Minister Modi was in Abu Dhabi then. He is visiting Dubai in February now for a temple inauguration. In 2015, Prime Minister Modi became the first Indian Prime Minister to visit the UAE after a gap of 34 years. Since then, by February 2024 will be Prime Minister Modi's 7th visit. Frequent visits of this nature between two countries reflect friendlier relations between two rising powers, but importantly it showcases how the UAE is showing interest in India. United Arab Emirates is a force in the Arab world, especially in business collaboration, in luxury lifestyle attractions, and is also consistently showing a progressive stand. So when the vibrant Gujarat summit was organized, UAE President was the top choice and was seen standing with Prime Minister Modi at the photo opportunity right next to him. Importantly, Mohammed bin Zayed does not really speak in public often, and this time took the opportunity to speak at the Gujarat Global Summit, therefore also reflecting the relationship he shares with Prime Minister Modi and India. All of this was after the grand welcome and a roadshow. On agenda, of course, were renewable energy, healthcare, technology and other business collaborations and investments. Remember this, India-UAE trade has witnessed a consistent jump. Oil, of course, remains the main trade element. And with Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which is the CEPA, in the fiscal year 22-23, trade between both countries reached a historic high. I'm talking about $84.5 billion approximately. Then there is the Indian cinema, of course, music, culture that have found a welcoming home in the Gulf nation. There are multiplex theatres showcasing Hindi, Tamil, Telugu films and more. And of course, I'm sure you know about superstar Shah Rukh Khan's grand birthday celebrations that are constantly reflected in Dubai. Every year, as is tradition now, Dubai's tallest building, Burj Khalifa, lights up as a tribute to SRK. From Pathan to Dunki, these trailers are flashed on the tower, thereby becoming a cultural bridge between the two countries. So this recent bonhomie scene in Gujarat between Prime Minister Modi and Abu Dhabi's ruler, what does it show? 1. The government interest in the UAE and the Emirates collaborations with India. Now, while all this was happening, another image surfaced, which, if you ask me, stood out more prominent than the UAE visit. Minister of Women and Child Development Smriti Irani with Indian bureaucrats standing in Madinah, which is one of the holiest cities in Islam. It holds profound religious significance for Muslims worldwide, including, of course, then for Indian Muslims too. On 8th January, Smriti Irani, who is also now the Minister for Minority Affairs, accompanied by MOS MEAV Muralidharan and a delegation, were clicked at Medina in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is an extremely conservative religious country. So this visit was unprecedented. And I'm told, marks the first time a non-Muslim Indian delegation has been welcomed to Medina. This is clearly a massive step up in bilateral relationship between India and Saudi Arabia. What many also noticed was this. The minister, Smriti Irani, and the woman bureaucrat with her, Nirupama Khotru, though dressed conservatively in their usual attire and respectful to the place of worship, but did not bow down to the pressure of a full body cover or a headscarf. The delegation visited the Al-Masjid Al-Nabwi, followed by a pilgrimage to the historic mountain of Uhud and the Quba Mosque. This is the first mosque of Islam. And then the bilateral Hajj agreement was also signed. They also interacted with the Indian volunteers and the Umrah pilgrims. The official statement released had a very important point made. I quote it here. The Indian government reaffirms its deep commitment to providing necessary facilities and services to the lakhs of Indian Muslims partaking the Hajj pilgrimage, thereby ensuring a comfortable and spiritually fulfilling experience. This brings me to the perspective now. 1. Exploring the strength of the bilateral relationship between India and Saudi Arabia, especially at a time with Saudis welcoming a non-Muslim delegation, including women, to Medina, showing their progressive steps here, and the impact of such cultural exchanges on Indian Muslims, who clearly are happy to note the developments here. A young woman columnist, Zeba Zoria, writes, I quote her here, as an Indian Muslim, Smriti Irani's heartfelt presence at the Hajj and Umrah conference in Jeddah fills me with gratitude. The strengthened collaboration with Saudi authorities bring me hope for improved facilities and ensuring an enriching pilgrimage for us. Amana Ansari writes, the visit marks a significant step in fostering cultural ties between nations. Exploring the rich heritage of Islam strengthens the bond that connect us all. Progressive Muslims are happy to note this development. The radical conservatives who love to paint India as communal Hindutva on global platforms could not digest this fact clearly, even trolled asking why these people are being even allowed near a mosque in Saudi Arabia. To give you some data, the Muslim population in India stands at about 19.7 crore in 2023. This was as per government informing the parliament. Minister Smriti Irani had said that the Muslims accounted for about 14.2% of the total population. This is as per 2011 census, stood at about 17 crore then, and with the projected estimate at about 20 crore now. So at a time when a section, especially in the international media, constantly targets India, Hindu community, and especially the incumbent government, claiming they are Hindu-centric, fascist, non-inclusive, such visits and interaction not only bust that narrative, but also reflect how the leaders are maneuvering their outreach that possibly impacts the domestic interest too. As I conclude, political decisions cater to several permutations and combinations, especially when it comes to international diplomacy. But one fact clearly shows that nations in the Arab world are increasingly realizing to move with the times, and they have chosen India to reflect that reform. A Hindu-majority country with a visible Muslim population and a promise of a united, bright future together. Thank you for watching.